What's up? My wife's at work right now, so today I'm gonna make really big gaming updates to my desk setup before she gets back, so shh! Don't tell her. We need to get to work, like now. In all my past videos, all gaming related content has been with my Xbox Series X, but I wanted to finally have a setup with more power behind it. So I finally decided to get a gaming PC. I'm not new to PCs, but I wanted to get more accustomed to gaming PCs and upgrading them over time before building my own. So I ended up getting a pre-built from Micro Center, and it did not disappoint. This features the 13th gen Intel Core i9 processor, the NVIDIA GeForce FTX 4080, 32GB of RAM, and 1TB SSD along with 4TB of hard drive. I'll go more into what it's like gaming with this later, but first let's pair it with a gaming monitor meant for this type of build. This is LG's 45-inch UltraGear OLED curved gaming monitor, and it is one of my favorite monitors I've gotten to try out over the past few years. This one's not just impressive from a performance perspective, but also from a build quality perspective as well. Inside the box you get the monitor and stand, power cable, HDMI and DisplayPort cables, and a remote control to make modifying the settings easier. The back of the monitor is easily one of the nicest quality builds I've seen, and it's where I kind of wish my desk wasn't set up facing the wall. The monitor comes with the stand, but the legs and the monitor itself are both very large and were going to take up a ton of desk space, so I decided to mount it instead. Even though this monitor is pretty heavy, I got lucky because the Amazon mount that I used before is able to actually hold it. Some pro tips for looking for mounts I wanted to share here. You need to pay more attention to the weight that the mount can hold and not necessarily the size. Look for what your monitor weighs without the stand, and also double check the mount type to ensure it matches your monitor. Most of the negative reviews of mounts that I've seen feels like they don't adjust the tension which controls the strength of the mount. I wanted to keep my 38-inch monitor, so I finally decided to do a stacked monitor setup. There are a few reasons why I chose this. For one, stacked setups are more ideal for my Edifier stereo setup, as each one is the same distance from me without being too far away. And the other main reason is that these are two very big ultra-wide monitors, and having a secondary monitor, even in vertical mode, would take up a lot of desk space, and I'd constantly have to turn my head back and forth. I was skeptical at first of stacking them, but I think I actually prefer it more, as I'm not really having to tilt my head as much as I thought I would, and it's super nice having a secondary monitor when I game and I'm waiting in lobbies or researching what the new meta is. Before I go into what my gaming experience is like now, let's first go through everything else I added to my desk setup. I accidentally ruined my last desk mat, so I upgraded to Hexcal's new vegan leather desk mat bundle that includes a mat and wrist cushion. Unlike most other mats, this one ships flat and has metal bars to keep it flat, as well as act as a magnetic holder for the cushion. I'm slightly OCD, so it's nice not to have to worry about the mat having random curling that feels like it's nearly impossible to get it back to being flat. The bottom also has non-slip bottom grips to keep it in place. If you've seen some of my past desk setup videos, I've shown the custom Walnut desk shelf that my dad made for me several times. To complement it even further, I decided to add a few accessories. First off, Grovemade sent me their Walnut MagSafe charging stand, which this thing is easily one of my favorite items that I've gotten from them. It is beautifully crafted, it looks and feels amazing, and it goes perfect with my setup, especially with iPhone's new horizontal charging standby mode. One last thing I added to my shelf because I got it deeply discounted off Amazon is the Govee gaming light bars. Having a light behind a monitor makes playing games and videos at night way more immersive, and it helps reduce eye strain. And of course, it's not a gaming setup without RGB lights. Also, it's a pretty solid gift idea if you have a gamer you're shopping for. I know RGB isn't for everyone, but I wanted to include these options in this video just in case it gives you inspiration for your own setup. Another really easy way of adding RGB lights to your setup, especially with a tight budget, is by replacing your floor lamp bulbs with options like these from Govee. What's nice about these is that it's a super easy way of converting my floor lamp into smart tech that I can control via Govee's apps, Google Assistant, or Alexa. They're also a great way of using them for controlled white temperature lighting or changing the theme of my setup. They can also be used as nice backlights for those of you that like to stream. I know I still may get hate for this, but I am 100% still a controller gamer. With Xbox being deeply rooted in my childhood gaming with my brothers, I'm a huge fan of the Elite Series 2 controller. Unfortunately, yes, my original one did have issues with stick drift and the left bumper, so I did decide to get a new custom one from Design Labs. I love this controller, but it wouldn't hurt if they came down in price a little. I'll do my best to link everything like my black controller stand in the description, but if I'm missing anything, just let me know down in the comments. For audio, I go one of two routes. When I play campaigns, RPGs, and racing games, I like using the Edifier speakers. These have been an awesome addition and are decently priced. For more competitive gaming like Warzone and other first-person shooters, I still use my Astro A40 wired headset with Mixamp Pro that I've had since 2020. These have always been my go-to because of the sound quality, and I'm able to wear these for long gaming sessions without it getting uncomfortable. It still works great for me, but the build aesthetics aren't the most durable. As you can see, mine looks like the paint has flaked off in a lot of areas. I still love these, but I'd love to hear what you all prefer or use down in the comments. Now let's get into the display. This is a huge gaming monitor with an 800R curve, which corresponds to the circumference of a circle with a radius of 800. The monitor's HDR brightness is able to get a peak brightness of 1000 nits. It also features an anti-glare coating that helps when the sun is blaring into my office. With OLEDs, there's always that concern of burn-in, but luckily LG has implemented several settings to reduce this risk, including pixel cleaning, image cleaning, screen move, and screensaver mode. I've obviously not had this very long, but this is really not something I've been concerned about. My biggest complaint though with this monitor is its 3440 by 1440 resolution, which has resulted in a low pixel density of 84 ppi. So when I game, it's really not an issue whatsoever, but when I use the monitor for productivity purposes and look close, I can start to see some of the pixels. Now let's get into what makes this a beast of a choice when it comes to gaming setups. This display features a 0.03 millisecond response time and 240 Hz refresh rate, giving me the ability to see and react faster than I've ever been able to. It is also NVIDIA G-Sync compatible for smoother gaming without image tearing and stuttering. These are all features that are honestly a really big deal when it comes to transitioning from years of playing on a console. Connectivity-wise, this monitor has one DisplayPort 1.4 and two HDMI 2.1 ports, which is also great for console gaming as well. The remote is easy to use, and some of the main features I use with this monitor when gaming online is enabling the on-screen crosshair for slightly better aiming and FPS counter to ensure that I'm getting the most out of the game I'm playing, as sometimes you have to go into the game settings to ensure it's not set to something like 60 FPS. I also like to play around with the black stabilizer to brighten up dark areas in order to see more details and avoid campers. I've absolutely loved gaming on this monitor since I got it, and not just because of everything I just mentioned or because I can use my PC to its fullest, but because the colors are extremely vibrant, and being an OLED, it displays perfect deep blacks, and the 45-inch screen matched with the 800R curve makes it feel way more immersive. It's a piece of tech that truly makes gaming hard to walk away from some nights. So that's where my gaming setup stands right now. I may do a part 2 in the future if I make any big changes, but let me know what you want to see next. I've covered a lot of this setup in the past, so I know I didn't cover everything, but I'll do my best to answer common questions like what size my desk is and wall paint color down in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe for Dexter, and with that said, I'll see you all next time.